Relationships between landlords and tenants can test every aspect of a person's patience. But what happens when things really go south? If situations escalate, property owners may find themselves accused of landlord harassment. In this video, we help owners discover what constitutes landlord harassment, along with the possible repercussions you could face. Hey everyone, it's Alyssa here from Bay Property Management Group, your local property management experts. Our team works diligently to help owners throughout Maryland, Virginia, Washington, D.C., and Pennsylvania get the most from their rental investment. Before we get started, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content on creating passive income through real estate, plus tips for owners, investors, managers, and tenants. So with that said, let's jump into today's video. Being accused of landlord harassment is terrible for several reasons. For example, a dreaded landlord harassment lawsuit depletes profits and valuable time. So what exactly do we mean when we say landlord harassment? In general, landlord harassment is categorized as the ongoing use of aggressive tactics to intimidate a tenant. Most often, this involves disrupting the occupant's right to quiet enjoyment. However, it could also involve using forceful measures to compel the tenant to vacate the property or not file a complaint that they have a legal right to. Landlord-tenant disputes can escalate quickly, and any accusations of landlord harassment should not be taken lightly. Unfortunately, harassment can in some ways be in the eye of the beholder. That said, landlords should avoid any actions that could lead to a landlord harassment claim, such as verbally or physically threatening a tenant. But also keep in mind that verbal threats can occur via face-to-face interactions, over the phone, or in writing. The next example is any form of sexual harassment, meaning at no time should the landlord make crude remarks or other obscene sexual advances towards a tenant or prospective tenant. Next up, we have filing false charges or a false eviction against the tenant. This attempt to intimidate or scare the resident into leaving will not end well. Not only is it illegal, but it can also be considered landlord harassment. Another example is refusing to accept rent payments as a means of intimidation or as an attempt to threaten the tenant into leaving or retracting a complaint. Illegal entry into the rental property is something else that could lead to a landlord harassment claim. While there are instances when landlords need to enter the property, excessive inspections or entry without ample notice is a problem for owners. The only exception would be entering unexpectedly to complete an emergency repair that poses a serious risk to either the tenant or the property. Not providing proper notice extends to several aspects of the landlord-tenant relationship. The lease and local law will dictate the amount of notice needed for things like rent increases, entry for maintenance, or eviction notices. Next, we have unlawfully changing the locks as a means of eviction, which is both illegal and harassment. Keep in mind, this applies to changing the locks on any common areas, the tenant's unit, or barricading entry points in any way that impedes the tenant's right to gain access. Removing personal belongings from the property could also be seen as harassment. In fact, the only time when this can lawfully occur is when the tenant abandons the rental property. But even then, each state has its own rules for how landlords can handle personal belongings left behind. In addition to these examples, cutting off amenities as described in the lease agreement is another form of landlord harassment, or even possible retaliation. When a service or amenity such as parking or gym access is included in the lease, the tenant has the right to it for the entire duration of the agreement. Next, landlords taking actions to disrupt essential utility services that affect habitability is a form of harassment. These services, such as electric, water, sewer, or heat, relate to a tenant's warrant of habitability, so landlords cannot interfere with vital services as a means to get the tenants out. It is clearly landlord harassment. Refusing to perform maintenance in a timely manner is not just bad business, it too goes along with maintaining a warranty of habitability. Neglecting or intentionally delaying repairs opens property owners up to the possibility of tenant litigation and landlord harassment compensation. Our last example of common forms of landlord harassment involves creating nuisances that disrupt the right to quiet enjoyment. For instance, unnecessarily performing maintenance tasks with the intent to create excessive noise, prolonged inconvenience, or a disruption to the tenant's use of the property. So, what should owners do if they are accused of landlord harassment? While the goal of any rental business is to have a positive landlord-tenant relationship, sometimes personalities clash without warning. Therefore, landlords must protect themselves and their interests from getting caught up in a landlord harassment lawsuit. As an experienced property management firm, we recommend the following tips. Number 1, keep detailed communication logs that include detailed notes on any communications or conversations you have with tenants or prospects. Just remember to track the date, time, and what was discussed, along with any required further action. Number 2, utilize technology to your advantage to help maintain detailed records, such as reports on payment history. Record keeping is essential in any business, but for landlords, these records help avoid common points of contention between tenants and owners. Technology can also streamline records such as applications, leases, renewal documents, inspections, notices, photos, or notes. Number 3, adopt the buddy system, which means whenever possible, have a witness or neutral party observe and record landlord-tenant interactions. This can also be useful should any disputes arise. Number 4, knowing the law is another important step for rental owners, as understanding landlord and tenant responsibilities is critical for success. So be sure to refer to any applicable local laws and ensure compliance with all tenant communications. Number 5, knowing when to ask for help is another key factor to success in the rental industry. Whether it is enlisting the advice of a qualified attorney or hiring a property management firm, professionals can make all the difference. Instead of tackling everything on your own, a local property manager can handle tenant communications, ensure legal compliance, strategically market listings, and coordinate maintenance. Having a successful rental property business in part means keeping your tenants happy. That means despite any personality conflicts, landlords must still provide a safe and habitable living space. Besides, engaging in any retaliatory or harassing behavior won't work out well for owners or tenants. So what is the best way to handle the landlord-tenant issues that are sure to arise? It's simple. Let someone else take care of it for you. Professional representation is an owner's best defense against troublesome tenants while protecting against potential harassment claims. For more advice on a variety of issues important to the rental industry, subscribe to the Bay Property Management Group channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on exclusive content. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up or leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.